In this GeographyBurst video, we will be looking at to what extent is protection the best way to reduce the effects of tropical storms. Use page 30 to 31 of the textbook to help you. The 3 P's policy includes prediction, preparation and protection. We should talk about all 3 things within this question. Describe. Say what you see. First of all, you should say what protection is and the other 2 P's of the 3 P's policy. Prediction. This is where satellite images track the storm and use historical storms data to predict the typical path the storm will take. Wind speeds and temperatures are taken into consideration, which may mean the predicted track could change and hit land sooner or later than expected. Therefore, prediction may not be as accurate as we would like. Preparation. The emergency services practice drills in storm-prone areas, as do most workplaces and schools, similar to how we have fire drills in our country. This will prepare people with the knowledge on how to keep themselves safe in the event of a tropical storm. Emergency services also engage with the community on how to prepare their families with a before storm plan and an after storm plan. This usually happens in the USA during Hurricane Awareness Week. Through using the satellite prediction systems, the country's officials can air this information and further prepare their people through TV and radio broadcasts. So finally, on to protection. Building cyclone shelters, put simply somewhere stormproof to hide, can protect against the storm. Bangladesh has successfully reduced deaths from 500,000 people in 1970 to just 4,234 people dying in 2007. Not standalone by using protection, but alongside these cyclone shelters, warnings were issued within the local communities. Often in rural areas, this is done on bicycles. So explain where this has been successful or unsuccessful. So it has been successful for many reasons, but why do some countries follow the 3 P's and others don't? Well, to put simply, some countries can afford to. They have the wealth and the communications to make this possible. Some parts of Southern Asia, for example, do not own televisions or radios, so they cannot hear the warnings. Some regions are so rural that there isn't emergency services within range to help prepare the community. There are limited funds in many LICs, with many communities living in small homes within the mountains, for example Indonesia, so they cannot afford cyclone shelters. So evaluate. You must therefore give an intelligent opinion. You refer to the 3 P's policy and tell me which is best. So, to what extent is protection the best way to reduce the effects of tropical storms? Describe. A tropical storm is a storm that has wind speeds of over 75 miles per hour and sea temperatures of more than 27 degrees. Protection is when we protect people and possessions from this storm. Explain. There are many ways to protect from the storm, for example, cyclone shelters, reinforced doors and windows, building seawalls to prevent high tides from washing homes away, and generally protecting your possessions. For example, in the USA, they are currently protecting themselves against Storm Florence, and the Maldives have built a seawall to protect themselves from storm surges. The other ways to reduce the effects of storm are to predict it coming through satellite tracking and preparing people through hurricane watch and radio warning systems. Unfortunately, the Philippines did not use these 3 P's, and therefore 6,300 people died when the Typhoon Haiyan hit. Bangladesh, however, have used these successfully and have reduced deaths from 500,000 people to just 4,234. Although protection is effective at reducing effects, if we didn't predict and track the storm, we could not prepare and protect against the effects, and to enable them to be reduced, especially if we are in a less wealthy country who cannot afford to build these protective buildings. So to some extent, protection is good at reducing the effects, but not the best way. Geography. Know your world.